Hello everyone, I'm Dragon Whelp, and this is a guide for farming various herbs in World of Warcraft Legion. Today we're going to be farming for Starlight Rose. So I'm here at Dalaran at the Crassus landing. So we're going to talk to the flight master and we're going to go to Meridil in Suramar. That's where we're going to start our focus point. I have looked all over the internet and I found, map guides of different paths you can take and the pathing that should be prominent. But I've not really seen any videos per se on the actual farm rotation, actually showing you going through each of the routes possible for, each of the individual herbs. So that is the focus of this today. So I'm going to go through and try to show you the best of my ability the actual rotation that I use when farming Starlight Rose. And I always start at Meridil. Always. I always start at this location because it's the beginning point and the end point in most situations. Once we land, there's two different ways you can do this. If you are one of the fortunate ones that actually has a sky golem, you can actually go and pick up herbs relatively easy without having to be dismounted. Let's see if I can find an herb really fast to demonstrate this. Just so everybody knows that if you're looking at the mini map in the top right hand corner, I have the add-on Gather Mate 2, which shows me individual spots of where I've gathered herbs in each of the areas. So, over here is a Starlight Rose. As you can see, as I farm it, I'm not dismounted. If you're not fortunate enough to own a Sky Golem, you can also do it with any of the other mounts, say a Ruby Panther, or the Grove Warden, or any other mounts that you have. The only thing is, when you do use other mounts other than the Sky Golem, you need to use an item called the Demon Steel Stirrup, which allows you to interact with stuff in the world while mounted. Since I'm not a blacksmith, I can only use this for 2 hours. Blacksmiths get to use it for 8 hours. Another thing that is recommended even with the Sky Golem is the Stonehide Leather Barding, which prevents you from being dazed while mounted and prevents you from being actually dismounted from any of the mounts. So just to show you, I'm going to equip a Demon Steel Stirrup, I'm going to equip a Barding, and I'm going to go start on the farm rotation. And as you can see, with like the Sky Golem, I'm able to farm while mounted. So I'm going to take you through a quick run of the farming rotation that I do. I go from that location over there, I go over this way, and if you see the herb, go get it. That's essentially what I do. And then there is a certain path that I do take depending on where herbs spawn, where they don't spawn. And you don't have to worry about being dismounted because the barding prevents you from being dazed and dismounted. So you can just run away from the creatures that aggro you, kind of like these wolves that are trying to eat my face. But try as they might, they will not knock me off my mount. But what I do is I just keep my eye on my mini-map, and I just go around. Now, when you get to this section, you can either go left or go right. I normally go right, over here where the basilisk are, because there seems to be, every once in a while, you'll have herbs, and there we go, speak of the devil. There are herbs that spawn randomly over here, but normally after a few rotations or few circles or few laps, a few of them spawn here and there. So there's always one there normally, unless there are other people on the farming path that are gathering the herbs ahead of you and they disappear. Now the herbs once gathered I think they stay around for at least a minute. So if you're farming with other people, you can actually double your yield, especially if they're farming with you and giving you the excess, or giving you all of the what they've gathered, due to the fact that each Starlight Rose only yields one. But I've gotten anywhere between 200 and 400 per 2-hour session. So I guess that would be anywhere about 100 roughly per hour. But I'll go up in this direction up here, and I will show you, don't worry, I will show you on a map on one of the rotations that I do. I'll pull up my map so you can see exactly where I go, how I go. And sometimes the rotation or the path differs depending on what rose has spawned where. So I'm going to shut up now. I'm going to speed this up, and I'm just going to show you how I farm and do a complete rotation. Now that I've gone part way through the rotation, or do the pathing, there's two ways you can go from here. You can either go down this direction, or you can go straight across and continue on another path. I'm going to go down this direction, because normally in the little city area down here, there's normally a bunch of Starlight Rose that spawn. A lot of the pathing videos or pathing maps that I see don't go through this area, and I would not see why would you not go through this area. There are a bunch of Starlight Rose that spawn. I mean, that's just extra Starlight Rose in your pocket. So you just go through this little area and farm up all you can, and then go back out and start another rotation, or another path, or another loop, or whatever you want to call it. You see, now I'm going back through the city, but I'm going to head up this direction because if you see on my mini map and see where my cursor's pointing, there's a bunch of Starlight Rose that spawn up close to the mountain range. Sometimes they spawn there, sometimes they don't. It's just a matter of, RNG. And this is also another good way to get ancient mana for those who are looking for an easy way to get ancient mana. And if you're not an herbalist, killing the mobs around these areas also provide a good source of ancient mana. Oh, look at that. We got a withered hunger. It's best just to jump off your mount and kill the withered hunger when he spawns, because he will give you 6. You see, I got 6 Starlight Rose from that. So go back on my Panther, and as long as the Demon Steel Stirrup holds, you can use any mount you want. It doesn't matter what mount it is. And see, that person over there just grabbed that rose and it disappeared. So I was too late to grab it. But now that we're back at the beginning part, you can continue on another lap, or you can actually go back over this direction, back to the road, Oh, look. No Starlight Rose. Look at this.
I need to get closer.
If you take this road that's partway through the lap, you can actually go back this direction to get back to Mirrodil once you're finished farming. And here we are back at the Flightmaster, the ancient Cloud Wing, so you could go on to other ventures. But like I said before, there are many ways you can do this. You can bring friends along because of the 30 seconds to a minute of despawn time on the Rose. You can actually have one or more persons come with you to farm and essentially double your output. Because Starlight Rose is so hard to get, especially since it only drops one at a time, it's best to bring friends along. And as you can see, I have my friend Grimchill here. We're going to go off and going to show you the pros of having friends farm with you. He's using the Sky Golem, and he doesn't have to use the Demon Steel Stirrup to do it, but either way, it gets the job done. It gets the job done. And you can farm all day long if you want to, just as much time as you can have a friend. Because not only do you grab the herb, they also grab the herb because of that 30-second to a minute respawn time or despawn time. There's one over here. How many have you gotten so far?
I've gotten 2.
2? And due to the last thing that I was doing, I gathered about 118, so it was relatively profitable. Not to mention, when your friend, you can, if they are grateful enough to trade it to you, then yeah, you can double your Starlight Rose. Thank you. But here I am. I'm going to pull up my map, and I'm going to do another lap, another rotation, just to show you where I go on my map, so nobody gets confused. Well, now that I've done 2 rotations, as you can see, it's relatively easy once you get it down to memory, and not to mention it's, you just follow the roses. It's pretty much what you do. You follow the roses. If you see one to the left, you go get it. If you see one to the right, you go get it. If you see one in front of you, go get it. It's just that your pathing is generalized, but you normally follow the path the roses take. Because essentially that's all you want to do is you want to gather the roses. But anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a big thumbs up. And until next time, see you later. I just want to jump back in here and say, from the few rotations and few laps that I did, I got 118 roses. 118. And I didn't even farm for not less than 30 minutes. So that just gives you an idea of how productive that rotation and route can be.